The house felt too large, too empty, with Emily at work. Just a ticking clock and the soft glow of the hallway light. Then, the sound of footsteps, light and hesitant. Liam, he was staying over. As usual, college too far for late classes. He was a good kid, and he is my nephew. But lately, something felt different. A tension in the air, a lingering look. I told myself it was just my imagination. He was in the kitchen, a late-night snack in hand. "Can't sleep?" I asked, and my voice sounded strange, thick. "Nah," he said, a smile that made my stomach flip. "Too much caffeine." We talked for hours, about music, about his classes, about nothing at all. I felt a pull, a connection I hadn't felt in years. It was wrong, I knew it, but I couldn't seem to stop it. Then, I thought Emily came home from work early. The bedroom door opened. Soft, hesitant footsteps. "You home early?" I whispered, my voice barely audible.
Uncle Mark's house was always a refuge, a place to escape the cramped dorms. But tonight, it felt different. The quiet was heavy, charged. I found myself drawn to his presence. The way he moved, the sound of his voice. I didn't understand it. This feeling, this pull. We talked in the kitchen, and it was easy, too easy. He looked at me, and I felt a jolt, a spark. I wanted to stay there, in that moment, forever. I don't know what came over me. I didn't knock on his door. I opened the door slowly. My heart was pounding, my hands shaking. "You home early?" he said, his voice low. Everything after that was a blur. A touch, a whisper, a moment that changed everything. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't stop myself.
The room was dim, lit only by the faint glow of the hallway light. I was half asleep, disoriented. When he touched my arm, I instinctively reached back, my fingers tracing the warmth of his skin. For a fleeting moment, I thought it was Emily, home early, but the touch was different, the scent unfamiliar. A jolt of awareness shot through me, and I opened my eyes, my heart pounding. It wasn't Emily. It was Liam. The realization sent a wave of confusion and a strange, unwelcome heat through me. I didn't pull away. "It's just a half sleep," I told myself. But I knew it was more than that. The warmth of his body pressed against mine, the unfamiliar scent. It stirred something within me, something I hadn't felt in years. What am I doing? My mind screamed, but my body seemed to have a mind of its own. I wanted to pull him closer, to explore this forbidden territory, but a voice of reason whispered a warning. We can't," I mumbled, my voice thick with a mixture of desire and guilt. I knew it was wrong, a betrayal, but the pull was too strong to resist. Even through the fog of sleep, a part of me knew I wanted this.
The air in the room was thick with unspoken tension. I reached out, my fingers brushing against his arm, a nervous energy coursing through me. He shifted, his skin warm beneath my touch. For a split second, I thought he might pull away, reject me. But he didn't. He reached back, his fingers tracing my own, and my heart pounded in my chest. He was half asleep, his eyes still heavy, and for a wild, fleeting moment, I thought he might mistake me for Emily. But even in his sleep, there was a different kind of awareness, a tension that mirrored my own. He mumbled something, a protest, but his voice was thick with a desire that sent a shiver down my spine. I knew this was wrong, that I was crossing a line, but the pull was too strong to resist. The warmth of his body, the scent of his skin, it was intoxicating. I wanted to be closer, to erase the distance between us. Even as a small voice in my head screamed warnings, I wanted this to happen.
His touch lingered, a brand against my skin. The room seemed to shrink, the air thick and heavy. I could feel the heat radiating from his body, the subtle scent of his cologne, a sharp contrast to Emily's familiar perfume. My mind raced, a chaotic mix of desire and guilt. I wanted to push him away, to regain control, but my body betrayed me, drawn to forbidden warmth. He shifted closer, and a tremor ran through me. "Liam," I whispered, my voice a hoarse plea, a warning. I knew I should stop this, end it before it went too far, but the words caught in my throat, lost in the swirling vortex of desire. The line blurred, the boundaries dissolved. I was lost in a moment of reckless abandon, a desperate grasp at something forbidden, something I knew I would regret.
His whispered name, a mix of protest and something else, something that sounded dangerously like surrender, sent a jolt of adrenaline through me. The air crackled, charged with an unspoken energy. I moved closer, the heat of his body drawing me in like a moth to a flame. The guilt gnawed at me, a sharp, insistent voice in the back of my mind. But it was drowned out by the overwhelming surge of desire, the intoxicating thrill of the forbidden. I wanted this, more than I had ever wanted anything. The world narrowed, the room fading away, leaving only the two of us, locked in a silent dance of desire. The line between right and wrong blurred, and I crossed it without hesitation, driven by a force I couldn't control.
The aftermath was a strange mix of exhilaration and a lingering unease. There was no regret, not truly, but a sense of walking a tightrope, of balancing on the edge of a precipice. The air between Liam and me was charged, electric. Then at breakfast, with Emily pouring coffee, Liam dropped the bomb. "Mark," he said, his voice casual, almost playful, "can we do what we did last night again?" My heart slammed against my ribs. Emily's eyes snapped up, her brow furrowed. "What did you two do last night?" she asked, her voice laced with suspicion. My mind raced. We played cards," I stammered, my gaze fixed on Liam. "Yeah, we played some intense card games," I managed, forcing a laugh. Liam's eyes held mine, a flicker of something unreadable in their depths. "Right," he said, a slow smile spreading across his face. "We'll have to play again tonight." For a terrifying moment, I thought he was going to expose us, to unravel the carefully constructed lie. But then I saw the glint in his eye, the subtle challenge, and I realized he was just keeping me on my toes. He was playing with fire, just like I was.
The morning after was a strange, heady mix of satisfaction and a thrill I couldn't quite define. I wanted to see how far I could push things, to test the boundaries we had crossed. So, at breakfast, with Aunt Emily watching, I asked him, "Uncle Mark," I said, my voice deliberately casual, "can we do what we did last night again?" His reaction was priceless. His eyes widened, his face flushed, and I could practically feel the tension radiating off him. Emily's suspicion was palpable. We played cards," he stammered, his gaze locked on mine. "Yeah, intense card games," I added, a slow smile spreading across my face. "We'll have to play again tonight." I saw the flicker of fear in his eyes, the brief flash of panic, and I knew I had him. He was hooked, just like I was. I wasn't trying to expose him. I was just playing with him. I wanted to see how far this would go, how much we could get away with. The game had just begun.
And that's how it all started. Mark and Liam's secret relationship. It wasn't always easy, but they found a way to make it work. They were careful, always looking over their shoulders, but the thrill of their forbidden love was worth the risk. The card games became a code, a signal for their clandestine meetings. Every stolen touch, every whispered word was a gamble, a dangerous game they played with increasing intensity. They found ways to be together, to carve out moments of intimacy in the spaces between Emily's shifts and their daily routines. Liam's playful provocations at breakfast became a twisted form of foreplay, a dangerous dance that kept Mark constantly on edge. The fear of discovery was a constant undercurrent, a thrilling, terrifying pulse that beat beneath the surface of their lives. They knew they couldn't tell Emily. The fallout would be catastrophic, shattering their carefully constructed world. So, they continued their secret, a delicate balance of desire and deception. Their story became a testament to the complexities of love and the lengths people will go to for it. It was a story of stolen moments, whispered secrets, and the constant, gnawing fear of being caught. It was a story that lived in the shadows, a forbidden love that thrived in the darkness, the secret they were family. They carried with them, always.